Hi there. Okay, a couple things. First, I just realized I'm recording in the dark, so hopefully the video turns out okay. Looks all right. All right. It's well after school. It's 10 after 6, it looks like. Last time I tried this, I lost internet connection like 4 times, so hopefully this one goes smoother. I'm also no collar because I did go home, grab Subway, grab a sandwich, eat fresh. And now I'm back here because I got work to do. So what did I teach today? Okay, the opening comment was refusing to get better at a base skill hurts many other skills. That's the note today. What does that mean? If you refuse to get better at running, almost every single sport is difficult for you. If you refuse to get better at reading, almost every other class gets harder for you. The point I was trying to make is because we only read in short blocks, if they would please keep your focus for 7 minutes. Today we did 2 7-minute blocks, 7 minutes and 4 seconds if you want to be precise. And I said, just fight your demons for 7 minutes. And for the most part, it went well. I had my first few students finish up the story. It's a 15-page story with some pictures in there. Most dangerous game, if you're familiar with the story. So refusing to get better hurts you. Then, boom, we did a 7-minute reading block. I then stopped it, told them, okay, now ponder. What did the main character just do? What's the main character's name again? All right. And did he interact with anyone? Is there a bad guy involved yet? Okay, what was the bad guy's name? Okay, I don't know. What do you think about the bad guy? And I'm trying to get them to understand. Read small parts before you try to read an entire story. So then, all right. Now I went to what I actually wanted to teach today. I took on the persona of I said, okay, folks, I'm now 16 and I am drop dead handsome. I got a sweet mullet going because that's what I was rocking back in 1987. And I walk in the room and I always pick the student who's furthest away. And so in this case, student who sat right there because the door's right here. And I said, okay, boom, 16-year-old me, not this fat old guy. Oh, that's gross. But here we go. Boom, I'm 16, I'm rocking the mullet. And I walk in and I see this beautiful young lady right here. And I'm like, oh, I'm in love. And I walk over to her and I say, I love you. And she looks up at me and says, oh my God, I love you too. And they lived happily ever after. Worst story ever. While it might be a beautiful thing for the 16-year-old and the 15-year-old, awesome, they live happily ever after. For someone who is reading this story, it is a terrible tale because no character development and the main character doesn't go through anything that makes him enjoyable to the rest of us. So I pointed out, boom, first thing when you walk in, there is an ex-girlfriend that dated you at your last school, and then she came here, now you're here, and she tells everyone that you are the worst kisser ever. Oh. Then, boom, you meet this girl who you kind of like, but she's not the one, unlike this sweet angel. She's not the one, but she really likes you and you don't want to hurt her feelings. And then you got a guy here who you used to hang out with, and he's like, man, I haven't seen you, we got to hang out. And then there's another guy who also likes this sweet angel you like, and he's staring at you just, these are obstacles. Obstacles make a story work. If there's no obstacles, the character doesn't struggle, there's no story. In real life, obstacles occur, and in some cases, we say, oh, I don't want to get into a fight with this guy, he's scary, I'm not going to date this girl. Well, I don't like this other girl as much, but I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, I'll date her. Oh man, I'm being bullied at my new school, I'm going back to my old one. Off you go. And sometimes we don't want to face obstacles. But what stories do is this constant idea of character wants something, desire, obstacles. Okay, what do you do with the obstacles? I decide not to give up. I struggle. Then at the other side of the struggle, you have tragedy, which means you failed. You didn't get the girl. Or comedy, you got the girl. Even if it isn't funny, it's still referred to as a comedy in literary circles, which I'm not in because I'm just a schmuck. All right, so those are my points over there. That's why I keep looking over there, because I got my desire, obstacle, struggle, comedy, tragedy. I point out how in professional wrestling, if The Rock or Hulk Hogan is wrestling some guy, and even when they're determined to be the winner, when they're wrestling some local guy, so one corner is The Rock and the other corner is Dave Ricky, and it's some 6'2", 204-pound guy. You know, he's relatively muscular, but he's not a professional wrestler. Well, it doesn't work if The Rock just comes over and ends it. So it often happens. All right, so I acted this out. So I depicted how, and I went with Hulk because Hulk is more from my era. Hulk would always start losing. He'd start out well, but then this guy would get him. And Hulk would be knocked down to the floor, and the guy would like drop a few punches on him. And then they'd always do this thing where, and he'd beg. Meanwhile, the announcer's like, oh no, this is unexpected. Oh, this could be the end of Hulkster's career. All these screaming Hulkamaniacs came and they are not expecting this. Oh, and Mean Gene, I think that was the announcer's name, pretty sure it was. He's going crazy. Oh no. But then what happens? All right, so the story arc. Desire, obstacle. Well, now he's getting beat, and the struggle is, he's like, no more, no more, no more. And he's begging, you know, whatever name I gave to that guy, Ricky or whatever. He's like, no more, no more, no more. But then what happens is Ricky slaps him. And I point out that the camera's right here. And so the slap turns. And then when Hulk turns back around, he's got those wild Hulk eyes. So then Ricky goes to hit him and Hulk grabs his arm. And then he goes to hit him with the other one and boom. And then Hulk gives him a boom, hit to the head. Then the guy staggers around while Hulk runs one side of the ring, bounce off the ropes, the other side, the other side. Heck, he could do it for 6 minutes. And the entire time the guy will just do this. Then he comes by with the arm bar, but bam, then bam, fight's over. If he would have just done that at the very beginning, it would have been terrible. The people there had to actually worry, they're not going to have John Cena lose this one, are they? Against this guy? Never even heard of him. But it works out because they overcome the struggle. And while it's ridiculous, it is a narrative. And it's a narrative that all of us need to learn from, because that's the point of stories. From stories, we learn resilience. We learn that people go through obstacles, whether fictional characters or real characters, they go through obstacles. And sometimes when all is helpless, that's when we got to hang on, because help is right there. Rohan, its horns blowing wildly, just rode into the valley. And boom, Lord of the Rings. Or Aragorn says, we must ride, and now I'm talking Two Towers. And then boom, in comes Gandalf, and depending on which version, it's Erkenbrand or it's Éomer, and woohoo, awesome. But you need those moments. You need those moments where Iron Man's powers seem useless, where Spider-Man runs out of web, where Superman has no kryptonite. Because a fully powered Superman, a little overpowered. He has to have a struggle. Otherwise, there's no story. So longer one than normal, but yeah, that's what we covered today. Then I gave another 7-minute reading block. Students have finished. I told them, hey, you're done. You could work on your weekly article, or you could draw a picture. And someone drew this. Can you see it? No, you can't. No, you can't. Oh, wait, look, 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 look. In case you think my teaching has no impact. Look at that. And she was quite proud because she said, look, I even put flies on the poo. That's an artist right there, because that was my lesson from a little while ago. All right. There must be a struggle for there to be a story. I feel bad waving, then turning down. So I need to change the order of that. I need to look down, then wave, then. I missed the button. Not very dramatic. Let me try it again.